So Wolf, it's so good. Oh, have you been playing Sekiro as well? You noob, how many times have I told you to not accept that many butt touches? Yeah, the butt touches were too much and fucked up my back. What can you do? What can you do? Anyways, before we officially get into the gaming news, let's talk about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. So I caved and I got it. I wanted to wait for some reviews to start coming out and whatnot, and all the reviews have just been up here. Fucking top tier reviews, and everyone's saying this is absolutely a FromSoft game, although people were saying it is drastically different than Dark Souls, and they are correct. The only way it's similar to Dark Souls is it's hard. But it's hard in a completely different way. Yo, Amber, what is up? How you doing? Welcome back. Oh, director, my director. Oh, so Wolf, you just started last night. Very nice. It's the only thing you played since then. What, Sekiro since Dark Souls? Okay. So anyways. God damn, the game is good. Very interesting mechanics so far. Now, keep in mind, I believe I'm in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 hours in. Still super, super early. I've only beaten one mini-boss so far. I'm still going around, and I'm trying to, like, grind enemies to try and get a better feel for the combat, because, Lord Almighty, they are correct. The people are absolutely correct when they say this is not Dark Souls, and you cannot iframe through shit. Because the tracking on the enemies is much more advanced than it is in the Dark Souls series. Meaning, when an enemy swings at you, the intent is that it is going to hit you. So even if you do successfully iframe through an attack, the end of the attack is still going to hit you. The game is based off of a give and take, like an actual sword fighting mechanic, where defense is just as important, if not more important, than offense. And they did it so well with that stamina system that they, not stamina, excuse me, there is no stamina, posture system. By successfully blocking, deflecting some jump kicks and certain other attacks, you can tank an enemy's posture. Once their posture's all the way down, it opens you up for a death blow. Now, most enemies in the game die, for those that don't know, when their health gets to 0, with the exception of bosses. What the boss health mechanic does is it makes their posture recover much slower, proportional to how much health they're missing, which is very interesting. Very interesting. I've seen similar things kind of done when I played Neo. Now, I have to admit, guys, Neo I did not like. I did not like it. It was a bit much for me. It was still a good game, just not for me. But they kind of went down a mix between what Neo was trying to do and what Dark Souls was doing successfully, and they kind of made this hybrid of a game that is very satisfying. Now, I do have some complaints about the game. One of the biggest complaints about the game, and I hate to do this, but I have to compare it to Dark Souls, because it's a similar vibe. It's obviously from Software, the same company that made it. One of the biggest gripes I have about it is that you can't play the way that you want to play, right? So in Dark Souls, you get different kind of weapons. You can use magic. You can use all sorts of shit to get your own playstyle. Sekiro, there is no your playstyle. It's the playstyle, and you have to learn that playstyle. I'm not saying that's negative. That's necessarily a negative thing. Keep in mind, that's not necessarily bad, but the game developers really want you to learn and play this game the way that they meant it to be played. So like when I was playing Dark Souls and everyone's like, you're not meant to be a caster in the game, it's meant to be sword and shield. But I still was a caster, and I still successfully completed all 3 games as a caster. Struggle busting sometimes because of it, but it was possible because that's my playstyle. So that's one personal gripe I have against the game. Additionally, similar to Dark Souls, but not completely, if you pull more than one enemy at a time, even weak enemies, you're kind of fucked. There's nothing you can do besides run and hide until they de-aggro and they walk away from you, and you can do a sneak attack and kill one of them maybe. In Dark Souls, because you can level up and get more powerful, at a certain point you can get mobbed by like 10 enemies if they're low level, and you'll be fine if you know what you're doing. In Sekiro, doesn't look that's ever going to be the case throughout the entire playthrough. Catch up on chat here for a second. And by the way, chat, I want to hear what your impressions of Sekiro are. If you've been playing it or if you've been watching it on Twitch, I want to hear what your impressions are. So you went down to Odessa in the I-70 Speedway, and you found out they were doing a track day. So you signed up and you put your car in the track to see if you still got it. Well, Count, do you still got it, brother? Huh? Do you? Do you still got it? Amber, I'm doing great. Lots of awesome violence. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, God, that just makes my soul feel nice. Makes my soul feel nice. So Wolf says, it's so smooth and damn, you're farther than you. Well, yeah, I picked up the game like 2 or 3 days. I think 3 days ago. But I'm still very, very early game. I've only beaten 1 mini-boss so far, so I barely even started. And I got to the point where I have access to 2 more mini-bosses. One of them just wrecked my tits right off the bat, so I'm like, I need to get good. I need to get better before I keep going, as opposed to I need to level up. Which is one thing, again, even though I said I kind of don't like that it forces you into one playstyle, it is kind of nice saying like, oh, instead of like, oh, I'm just going to go over here and level up and get more powerful and shit, that I have to go back and actually get good and learn this game. It's weird. I don't like it, but I like it at the same time. It's hard to describe almost. So Phantom swordplay is so fucking good. Now that you gotten through the first real boss, you gotten to love the shit out of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though I have some criticisms so far, the game is phenomenal. I love it. And I want to broadcast it for you guys, and I might, but the problem is there's just too many goddamn people playing it. People aren't going to find your director. So we're going to keep on with Skyrim today, but we'll see. We'll see about potentially broadcasting some of that shit. Oh, another complaint I have is the game looks like it's straight out of 2011. The graphics are not impressive in any way, shape, or form. While I'm running it at 1440p on completely max settings, at just a straight 60 frames a second, non-stop, never dipping below that, the game doesn't look that great. Now, the ambiance of the game is beautiful. Like, it's just the set pieces are awesome. The level design is, I don't even want to say top tier. It's From Software tier, which is above top tier, right? But yeah, it's just lacking visually, but that doesn't take away from my gameplay, personally. Smoking, have you heard of a website named gna.com? They're selling Skyrim Special Edition for, oh wow, for 20. Just don't know if it's a save site. I'm not familiar with gna.com, so I wouldn't recommend anyone go to it until I'm more familiar with it. I'm not saying don't, I'm saying I don't give it my recommendation, but I'm not familiar with it. Count, fuck yeah, I still got it. Put them youngins and their little asses to shame. Very nice. Also helps when you have an engine with, oh, worth more than the car. Nice. You built that bitch yourself. Very cool. If you don't mind sharing, man. I don't really know much about cars. We have our own mechanics here at Code 3 Industries. Maybe you could be our official mechanic. How about that? But let us know what you got under the hood. I'm kind of curious, even though I'm probably not going to understand what you're talking about. Booty. Door does not open from this side. Yep, I already noticed that. And that's the same thing that I thought. I got to that. I'm like, fucking From Software, I swear. But it's cool, because then you get there and you unlock it, and hey, shortcut. Cool. But that goes into, like, their level design and how... I mean, they're just, again, there's top tier, and then there's From Software tier level design. The smoking, so that's why I asked, because it's cheaper than Steam, but gives the Steam code. Yeah, so depending on the website, those websites can be a little touchy sometimes. They can be a little iffy, because sometimes they rebuy those Steam keys, which means that it's not technically a valid key. The same thing happens with people trying to buy a copy of, like, Windows 10 Home Edition or whatever for, like, 20 bucks, and then they go to fucking use it, and it comes up as not a valid copy, or the key just doesn't work at all. Those are usually keys meant for distributors to send out, not for end consumers such as us. But again, I'm not saying that's what that website is. I'm just not familiar. But I'll look into it, though. Well, it seems like everyone so far in chat that's been playing it has been loving Sekiro. I love it as well. Would you guys like to see your director broadcast Sekiro Shadows Die Twice? Not tonight, but maybe another night. Maybe another night that's not tonight. Would that be something you guys would like to see and just watch the salt flow out of me with all the death? You're welcome, Smoking Deadpool. As always, you are welcome. Yes, I want to see you get your ass kicked. I've been getting my ass kicked. And then try and help. Yeah, no, I will take all the help I can get in that goddamn game. That game is fucking rough. Hold on, gotta readjust. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a little pain in the back, but we're good. Pain, like we said, pain makes you, let you know that you're alive. Good thing.